This webinar, please keep your microphone muted in order to be easier to each other hear. And since this session will be recorded, it's easier and safer to be quiet, and in order to maintain some of the cleaner space to have more deeper reflections about the issues that we are going to share here. You can use, as usually here in the Zoom, the chat to put your questions, and will be a space, a period dedicated to where we can put these questions, and we are going to reflect them in the roundtable period that we'll have in the time table that we have prepared for this webinar. We encourage you to do it, so feel free to put your questions and doubts about the issues that we are going to reflect in this webinar. This event is an organization of the editorial team of the book Teaching and Learning Practices that Promote Sustainable Development and Active Citizenship, that has been recently published by the EG Global. The editorial team is composed by me and my colleagues, Albertina Raposo, Nuno Pereira, and Ana Isabel Rodrigues, that are a couple, they are married each other. We are all from very different scientific areas. I'm a sociologist. Albertina has a PhD in environmental studies. Ana Isabel Rodrigues has a PhD in tourism, and Nuno is a physicist. But beside these different scientific areas, we share common doubts about our world, and mainly about the sustainability of our actual world. We also share the same institution where we teach and also research, that is the Polytechnic Institute of Beja in Portugal. And we have as one of the main challenge this common doubt: how can we prepare, train, educate better, namely our students and the actual and future generations, for a world that is in a real risk of sustainability? A world full of social and moral contradictions, such as racism, populist and extremist movements, fake news, deep social and economic inequalities, poverty, only referring some of them. How to guarantee a more active and compromised sense of global citizenship was an additional question that has led us through this common project of collecting and publishing in a book good practices and inspiring pedagogical practices and experience that show us how we can move forward. In this webinar, we have the pleasure to count with the participation of many of the authors that have contributed to this book. Some of them are the invited speakers of this webinar, and these specialists make possible to achieve and to deliver the result of this common project. The book brings together the contribution of researchers from various and different scientific backgrounds who, in different educational contexts, have developed learning practices to empower people with new competencies and enrich the reflection and knowledge about how we can better connect education and global citizenship. A special thanks to all authors, to all specialists, and mainly, once again, to René Souza, to Karen Pashby, to Marta da Costa, to Stephen McCloskey, and Pepe Menendez, that I hope will join us or should be with us in a minute. The expected timetable for this webinar is the one that you can see in these slides. We are going to start with a small presentation of the book. in order to present some of the objectives and the main contents of the book. And afterwards, we will have a roundtable reflection with the contribution of the invited speakers. In total, we plan to be with you no more than 1 hour and a half, and we'll have a roundtable reflection period to active participation of these viewers in this webinar, where you can put questions and answers directly to us and for the invited speakers. As mentioned previously, the main objective of the book is to demonstrate how education is fundamental to empower present and future citizens' competencies to understand and act in the world of multiple risks. The book emerged thinking mainly in all of those who believe that education is a key factor to transform people. We defend that learning and educational practices and process must be designed and implemented with global sustainability as a framework. That means to prepare students and trainees to constructive and mainly to the constructive reflection upon what means democracy nowadays. How our way of life puts in real risk the environment, our health and wellness. How the so-called postmodern and mass production world puts the sustainability of all life in Earth in risk. The 15 chapters that are collected in this book are the contribution of a total of 44 authors, specialists from 17 different countries and 4 continents. The book counts also with the foreword of António Sampaio da Nova, the ambassador of Portugal to UNESCO. We have in total, we think, 16 tests of hope, scientific tests of hope that guide us and show us how can we change our action, our pedagogical action, and also our mindset in order to guarantee a world with more social, economic, and environmental justice and with equal rights and opportunities. Yes, we think we can make it. Yes, we think we can count and should count better with education to transform the world. The chapters that make up this book seek to contribute to the enrichment of reflection, knowledge, and action on 3 main questions. Why is it so crucial to promote global and critical citizenship education in today's society? How can education contribute to a sustainable world? What changes and practices are needed in the educational process to ensure active citizens committed to promote a real change in their current way of life and to guarantee the sustainability of our ecosystems? And now I'm going to pass to my colleague Albertina, that is going to present briefly some of the main contents of the 3 parts that our book is divided.
Thank you, Sandra. Welcome, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here in this session. The content of the book is divided into 3 sections. The first section is empowering education for global and critical citizenship. And this section discusses what changes are needed in the learning and educational practices and policies in order to promote global and critical citizenship. So the section presents global challenges and questions on sustainability and unsustainability, development, entrepreneurship, and critical and pedagogical approaches. from a set of educational practices in which citizenship education can be reinforced. The second section of the book, Empowering Education for a Sustainable World, includes questions and reflections about how education can contribute for a sustainable future, ensuring that citizens are active and committed to promote a real change in their lives, our lives. And actually, education must undergo a change to face the challenges of this 21st century we are living. So COVID-19, climate crisis, the growing levels of poverty or inequality are topics presented here, and models such as the socio-ecological literacy, sustainable entrepreneurial thinking can change education in this traditional sense. Finally, the third section, Empowering Sustainability, presents examples of educational practices developed in different contexts and scientific areas, and have empowered critical thinking and skills to act for a sustainable world. From young children to higher education and professional areas, the work with the geographies on competences or the gender gap in the digital age, all of them can be essential areas of practice for developing sustainability competencies. So we think that all the book can be considered a wake-up call to the need and the urgency to change our educational practices, our attitude towards ourselves, with our peers, with nature, and with our planet. And because there is no doubt, it is urgent to provide a global education that respects different and divergent trails through democratic, collaborative, and emancipatory practices. We believe this compilation of 15 chapters, as Sandra said before, translate the diversity of perspectives and approaches, and not only helps to show the complexity of contexts and topics, but also illustrates ways of learning and building knowledge, and identify results and processes that are empowering and transformative. And in that sense, they contribute to the social transformation. And I think I stop here for now. Sandra, please.
Sorry, I have muted. I think we have a problem with Zoom because I have a message that says that we have more or less 6 minutes left. Nuno, can you help us? That is your matter to manage these technical things.
I'm afraid I'm quite useless at this moment. This is a Zoom issue. So we just have to let the meeting end and then click on the same link and we'll be back to the same place. So it's quite simple.
Okay, but there is a problem because we are just starting the round table, and we must wait to finish, or we can start, or we can leave.
I think we should leave and enter
and come back again.
Okay.
Sorry. It should work.
Yeah, sorry all for this trouble.
I hope you come back.
We can come back again.
Please don't run away.
Okay. Sorry. See you.